Good evening, everybody, and welcome to RPG Limit Break. Tonight, we are bringing you another Highway to the Zemus-Zone League race. How's everybody doing tonight? Good evening. I am Z-Man 050778, and with me tonight in the broadcast booth is Cool Pants Guy. Cool Pants, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing great. Very excited about this race. I think we're going to have a really good one on store for us tonight.
Yeah, we really do. Just to kind of go through our competitors tonight, on the upper left corner, we have GreatWightHope. This is his first league match, so we'll see how he does. On the top right, we have Invenerable, who won his first and only race so far of the league. We have Khobahi, who had done the same, and we have Ravlin, who desperately needs a win, given that he has 5 points in his first 3 matches. So, all right, well, we have Dark Cecil to start, and let's see, we get a Palom, and we get a Hook.
No one likes to see a hook this early, at least not me. To me, the hook is like the Aga seed of Free Enterprise.
Yeah, the hook seed is definitely kind of interesting, especially if they don't get a magma seed, because then you have to take the hook path down through Eblon and go to the Rubicon spot, and the Rubicon spot can really be an interesting fight. Oh, I want to say thank you very much to our tracker, Scala Kitty, who has just subscribed for 4 months in a row. Thank you very much, Scala.
Pro tracker right there, let me tell you.
All right, so everybody's kind of following the same path here, checking Baron wares, the shops and everything. I would imagine that one of the things that our runners is going to look for extraordinarily quickly are sirens, given that they have Palom, and maybe do a quick siren grind up on Mount Ordeals to get Palom Quake or Virus.
Absolutely. Palom can be a really amazing early game character.
And we see his twin sister Porum waiting for him in the Baron Inn.
Thing is destiny. We have to pick her up at some point.
Well, at least at some point our runners will have access to a healer relatively quickly. And that's really what they're looking for. Even if Porum's a very good healer, just like Rosa. The only problem with Porum is her relative lack of health when compared to Rosa. But otherwise, they're pretty darn identical. Porum does get life 2 a little later, though.
Yeah, very squishy endgame for sure. All right, we got a little bit of diversion, looks like. Some are going Mist, and then another one up to Damsian.
The Mist play here is interesting, especially without the use of Exit. Mute Dagger is not a bad purchase for Palom at this point in time. Stardust item. So that'll take care of whatever early game boss that our players have to fight.
Absolutely. I do see more and more people skipping the Mist early stop these days, though. So, anyone in chat, where do we think the crystal is going to be today?
All right, so we have Invenerable diving the Antlion Cave here.
Not a bad call. Good early play. Get that quick key item.
Samurai Helmet in the Antlion Cave, always a nice find, especially once our runners go to Mount Ordeals to make Cecil Paladin Cecil, I should say. Oh, Dragoon Helm, that's even better.
Really nice chest so far. All right, bottom right, Ravlin looking for a new character. Maybe we'll find someone good.
right, so let's see what boss we have coming up here in the Antlion Cave, and let's see what item we're going to get from it.
Oh, one of the lunar bosses. This should be doable with items.
Yeah, exactly.
Easy
and,
peasy.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Looks like they'll have to get Porum from the Baron Inn.
we'll take the hint game. We understand. An adamant in the Antlion Cave, really only useful for upping your key item count.
So GreatWightHope already diving Eblon, as is Ravlin right now. A nice thing about the Eblon Cave is right now they have found coffins in the item shop, so that makes grinding on some things and some enemies really super simple.
Absolutely, and a relatively free character as well.
So we're probably, we're going to get a check on the character, but more importantly, we're going to take a look at the Rubicant boss and kind of just get a judge as to how free or not that fight is going to be. Let's see what we got here. We have Sid as a character. Oh, no.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, Evil Wall at Rubicant is not a fun battle. It's going to hit like an absolute truck, and it's going to hit like a truck going 90 miles an hour.
That's right. Wells in chat says Edward does have value now if they find him. He's an evil wall machine. It's my favorite use of Edward in the whole game, of all two of his uses.
That is a very, very good point there. Now watch Edward be behind the giant of Babil just because.
Luckily, Sid isn't a bad character to have, especially with Donkey Kong Cecil as useless as he is before you change him.
Yeah, and the nice thing is about Sid is Sid can use some of that nice equipment that we've been finding, the helms and I think a shield that we've been finding. So gloves. So Sid being able to equip some of that stuff is really nice. Well, we have life potions in Toroya.
Another really good item when it comes to grinding and before you find a healer.
Khobahi picking up his adamant. I hope GreatWightHope saves before going up to Hobbs.
Me too.
All right, that's a good thing. We have a save. Same thing with Khobahi. He better save.
See how fast he resets. I'm going to go with 0.3 seconds.
Hooper Notorio, thank you very much for your subscription. We really appreciate it.
All right, Khobahi and Great White about to get their dreams crushed. Unless... not quite fast enough.
No one less there. That's a nope. Khobahi's gonna try it again.
Maybe he thinks he can get that Star Veil off fast enough.
Maybe. Nope.
Worth a second shot.
Yeah, go ahead. We do have Invenerable searching around the Eblon Cave a little bit on his way out.
Khobahi heading for the Fabul Gauntlet. Typically a pretty easy key item, but sometimes you can get unlucky.
So let's see what we have here in the item shop. He's going to sell off some of his excess stuff first. selling everything, including the Dragoon helmet. That's an interesting one, given that the Dragoon helmet does offer elemental protection. That's surprising to me to see khobahi sell off the Dragoon helmet. But, we'll see. Maybe he doesn't intend on equipping it to anybody anytime soon.
Yeah, maybe. Some of these really strong runners are just so good at iteming and menuing and selling what they don't need that I trust him.
Another lunar boss, and this one is Pale Dim. This one's an easy one as far as they tend to go.
Yeah, loves to cast slow, but other than that, he's okay. Invenerable also found the bad news in Mount Hobbs.
So, that said, although Pale Dim is the easiest of the lunar bosses, I'm still not sure. That vampire will probably do. Oh no, I'm not sure khobahi has the firepower to take care of it. He doesn't have Sid or anything yet, whereas Invenerable is going to be in a much better shape, given that he does have Sid, so should be able to just beat the thing into submission.
Yeah, very good point. They only have so many of those J items they can use. And other castable consumables. I'm curious if after Fabul, who might head down to Ordeals and go ahead and upgrade their Cecil.
There we go. We get khobahi taking down Pale Dim. Invenerable should not be too terribly far behind.
Great White right on their tail, with Ravlin doing the same thing.
And from their efforts here in Fabul, they get the tower key.
Probably not what they're hoping to see, but useful later.
Yeah, absolutely not at all what they're hoping to see. But the nice thing about getting the tower key early is that it does set up a one-shot through the underground Tower of Babel, so you don't have to go up there without the key and hope it's up there, or a forced double dip type situation. So that's nice. The later Babel then just becomes a double item, which is really nice.
Absolutely, and often it seems like people tend to avoid wanting to go into Babel at all, so it's a little extra incentive for checking it out when you're down underground.
khobahi checking out the town of Silvera. Let's see if there's any items in here. Specifically, they're probably really looking for sirens. No, but some cure 2s, so that'll be really nice given the lack of a healer up to now, and given that the Ordeals bosses can be a little brutal at times.
Yeah, they can be. Got about 3,000 HP each, I think.
Yeah, the first 2 are 3,000, and then the Cecil spot is 1,000, I believe. Ooh, GreatWightHope picking up the Drain Sword from the Fabul throne room. What the really nice thing about the Drain Sword is that it does give -5 agility, so that you can set up your agility for the Zeromus fight later. That's a really nice pickup early. That and the Dwarf Axe. Those are the two things you're looking for as far as a -5 agility for Zeromus.
Yeah, very cool item. I've seen people defeat Zeromus primarily with the Drain Sword.
And we had khobahi finding, looks like, hourglass tubes in the city. Yeah, those come in really handy for some boss fights, especially given some boss positions.
Yeah, it looks like if the game is going to force them to Upper Babel, it's at least giving them some decent items to help along the way.
Drogan asks, how random are the stat gains per level? The answer is not. The stat gains per level are very standard fare. They're actually vanilla. The only time you see random stat gains is once you get above level 70. Once you get above level 70, a lot of those stat gains are random.
All right, Khobahi going to get his Sid real quick. Everyone else is kind of cleaning up what he's already done.
All right, so let's see where our runners head to next.
Great White going for it again, I think. Oh no, he's going to do a little bit of quick grind on ordeals.
No, he's going for Hobbs again.
Oh, that's right, Hobbs, yeah. Some people like a challenge. They just can't say no.
Maybe he's thinking with the extra levels, he'll be able to out-agility the Wyvern, which at this spot is interesting. Maybe.
Ooh,
gets
got
it
it
off.
Got it. It's got to feel nice. Feels real nice to see.
Yeah, that is good to see. All right, so let's see who we have here in the Sand Ruby spot. We have Fu. We have Fu in the Sand Ruby.
Sleepy Fu. So as far as key items before heading down Upper Babel, I believe they just have Baron Inn left. Is that correct?
And ordeals.
And ordeals, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Khobahi picking up two really nice pieces of armware in the Eblon Cave that I didn't catch earlier. The Zeus Gauntlets and the Strength Ring. So both of those are really nice pickups. Invenerable trying to get his Porum.
Great White and Ravlin heading to ordeals. Not a bad call in my opinion. At this point, you run out of options and your party is so strength. It doesn't hurt to have a nice paladin on your side.
Invenerable also getting Meganuke protection.
Very nice. It's one of those things, knowing where your levels are at and your agility and whether or not you have what it takes to beat him on that speed. Definitely not something I would know. I probably would have given up and never tried again.
Well, yeah, given that Porum's at the Ravlin finding Belvalis at the first ordeal spot. This is going to be a toughie.
Yeah, the game is giving him obstacle after obstacle, it seems. And you'll see if Khobahi can pull off his Wyvern ninja attack like the others.
Ooh, the Lightning 2 actually hits. So this isn't going to be nearly as bad as I thought it'd be, because Sid is hitting for damage and the Lightning 2 is indeed hitting. So this isn't going to be that terrible if he can stay alive.
I'm pretty sure the spot has rather low magic defense, so they might be able to dink away at it. Khobahi took down Wyvern as well. Very impressive.
PMA Cave foul? No, we have not yet found sirens. I'm pretty sure we've checked everything out. Pretty sure the overworld is a big no for sirens.
Another lunar boss incoming here at the inn. And we have Plague.
Yeah, this is a really good spot to find Plague because this spot has very low HP. So Invenerable making his his trek up ordeals, and he will find Valvalis waiting for him. Ravlin getting through Valvalis. Let's see who's waiting on the other side. Oh, free fight. King and Queen Antlion, free fight. Don't even have to do a thing.
Very cool. Yeah, Supremacy. I think we have seen all of the lunar bosses except for Ogo.
The second boss at the Baron Inn is Antlion. So not an overly terrible boss at this point. Will hit for a good amount. I'm a little surprised he doesn't have Pelham in the back row for this. But, 4,000 HP with some magic that should take care of him pretty quickly. All right, so let's see what strategy Invenerable will use here for Valvalis. I would imagine something similar to Ravlin.
Yeah, Antlion can be a stinker in various places, which can be surprising considering how early you fight him in the vanilla game. But man, when his stats are beefed up, he can be a wrecking ball.
I think it was one of the seeds of the week that are posted in Discord that had the Antlion at, I believe it was either the elemental position or at the CPU position.
It was at CPU. It was one of the last weekly seeds I played because I got so depressed.
Oh man, that was brutal. Oh, that was just awful.
I spent a good hour on him, and I mean, I knew what I had to do, but it was like 2 a.m. by then, and I just like, okay, I'm done.
So Antlion claiming GreatWightHope. Terrible. Oh, go ahead.
Looks like we got a twin harp from Ordeals, everyone's favorite key item.
And Venerable taking down Valvalis.
Mylan snuck inside from his usual spot up on Ordeals. Looks nice and cozy.
Khobahi now trying to take down the Antlion.
Yeah, Great White kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. There's Antlion on one end and Valvalis on the other.
Invenerable doing the waiting strat, and we'll just wait for King and Queen Antlion to off themselves.
Honorable thing to do. So, I mean, at this point, your choices are the Dark Elf Cave or head down the hook spot. What would you do, Z-Man?
Given the choice, I'm in a hook required seed. I'm always of the mindset you do everything overground you can before going underground. Okay? This does 2 things. Number 1, it gets you more key item opportunities to maybe get a magna key, and number 2, it gives you the opportunity to level up to try and take on whatever's in that Rubicant spot. And given that all of our runners have seen that it is evil wall in that Rubicant spot, I would imagine most of our runners are going to do whatever they can to get all the experience they can before heading down.
Yeah, I'm there with you, I think. That Babel descent or climb up there could be really tough, and especially knowing it's waiting at the end, it's a scary proposition for sure.
And given that they don't even know who's waiting for them in the King Queen Antlion spot, which is also problematic at points. Ooh, Invenerable getting Virus. That's big for Palom. That's a nice damage-dealing spell this early.
Absolutely. Palom is a hoss early game. Late game too, but he gets that, and I believe he gets Quake at 23, another real nice spell to have.
Yeah, he gets Quake 2 levels after he gets Virus, so that's always a good thing. I wouldn't surprise me at all to see Invenerable go to the Dark Elf spot, if for no other reason than to get Palom Quake before heading down to deal with that evil wall.
Killing 97. It might be a Texas thing. I don't know. I say some strange words sometimes. So yeah, only the glass helmet at the Baron Inn key item. Not something anyone loves to see. So we might be ready for some jam soon. Sorry to cut you off. I just get real excited about Dark Elf Cave.
Here's the thing. That glass helmet pickup may actually come in super handy, because the glass helmet does offer a ton of physical damage and a ton of physical evasion. And given what they're going to come up with as far as the evil wall goes, slapping a glass helmet on a physical fighter is not a bad option here to keep the physical fighter standing while hopefully, taking less damage from the evil wall and getting the evil wall to miss some. That glass helm, I think, is actually going to come in big against that evil wall.
Yeah, it's very true. It's definitely these little things that make the difference between these experienced runners here in the top 32 and someone like me who was one and done in a qualifier.
Invenerable making quick work of Plague, and I would imagine he will also make quick work of the Antlion here with just a virus or two, maybe 3.
Meat Shield, I just want you to know I see your joke and I appreciate it.
Going to use cover on Palom to keep Palom alive. Khobahi now going up against Dalvalis. So pretty much our runners are pretty much on the same page. They're all have done as much of the overworld really as possible at this point, for the most part.
Yeah, I think so. Slightly different order from here and there, but they're kind of all converging on Cave Magnus or heading up the Babel Tower.
Given the stash of... Invenerable checking the boss spots just in case Miss Dragon happens to be either vanilla or on the Octomom spot, because Miss Dragon will open up another key item. That's a good call here from Invenerable.
Absolutely, and there's some spots like that one where it's a quick check. You can reset really fast.
And Ravlin is indeed going into Cave Magnus. Oh, that's actually a really nice thing to find Kainazzo at the Octomom spot. That means they don't have to fight Kainazzo later, and Kainazzo in other spots can be an absolute brute.
Yeah, he can. weird looking turtle. So it looks like Invenerable might be foregoing Cave Magnus and heading straight for Babel.
Terrible name. No, nobody is really ahead or behind at this point in the race. They're just doing things in different orders. The only one that's really significantly out of quote-unquote order at this point is Ravlin, who has made the jump into Cave Magnus.
Whereas Invenerable and Great White might be heading down the hook to Tower of Babel. Great White's going to get a couple chests, possibly some experience along the way. I think there's about 3 trap chests in this area.
There's 1 in the Cave Eblon and 3 in the Eblon Castle. This
That's
one
right,
here, the two Stalemen, that's the battle in the Cave of Eblon. Oh, and Venerable fighting the same fight. All right, let's see what song we have here. This is Final Fantasy V.
Love it. Love that tune. I can't remember the name of it, but I love that tune.
Oh, okay. The end game song for Final Fantasy V. Okay.
Thank you, villain fetishist.
Oh, this is big. It's the Mist Dragon that's here in the Cave Magnus. So this is actually going to open up 2 key items.
Yeah, definitely always good to find this dragon, because you hate it. You hate when it's the last place the crystal could be and you have no idea where she is. Well, as viewers we like it, but the runners definitely don't like it.
And something notable here that makes sense. Anyway, something notable here is that Ravlin is doing this without Porum, the healer. And it looks like GreatWightHope is digging into the Eblon Castle for some potentially nice items. Finding a tiara, that's a really nice item for Porum. Meanwhile, and a mass immune is at Magnus. All right, where's Edge?
I remember one, I think it was a weekly seed where it was it was like a T4, and there were like dozens of mass immunes you found, and then never found Edge until really, really late. Invin's made his way into Babel. See what he encounters along the way.
Inven also doing the life glitch, which makes the game think that you have killed the enemy technically twice. Revives it with 0 vitality, which causes another instant death, which is really nice. So you may get the extra experience. GreatWightHope finding the Staleman skull fight. Ooh, getting Quake for Palom. That's going to be nice.
Yeah, definitely worth that battle.
Ooh, only a Zeus Rage, though. That's disappointing.
So let's see what Miss Dragon has for us. Hopefully something nice. It'll be a nice little advantage for Ravlin and khobahi. Hey, look at that.
That's big, especially if the evil wall gives our runners difficulty. That's big.
And now we definitely have some divergence between our top and bottom. Khobahi pretty close to getting his magma key. Great White going for ordeals once more to even take down Vavalis. It'll be real interesting from here on out. Sorry, my pronunciations aren't great sometimes. You can imagine what I said when I was little when I played this. I had crazy pronunciations for lots of things, so I'm improving when I can.
All right, so let's see. Who do we have here in the King Queen Nebulon spot? We have Dark Imps. They're going to hit like a truck, but between the three of them, one Quake should take them down.
Yeah, it's got to be a relief. I'm already nervous about Evil Wall. It's good to have a little freebie here and there. All right, so Ravlin is in the underworld, heading straight for the Land of Summons, is what I still call it. Get a quick free key item and check out some item shops, as well as the two potential bosses you might have to battle down in the basement.
All right, and here we go. Let's see how Invenerable takes care of this evil wall, or will the evil wall take care of Invenerable?
Ooh, a package in the Land of Summon Monsters. It does get us a character, which could be very nice. Or it could be Edward.
Bacchus Wines behind in the Land of the Summon Monsters. That's a nice find.
Absolutely. That Dark Elf play looking better and better. All right, here's our Evil Wall battle. Let's see what happens. Down in the basement, we have a looks like Rubicante and one of the doll things, I think.
Yeah, so that's either Rubicant or the Elements and the Calbranas. Calbrana's not going to be too bad, because if you can take care of the dolls before anything. Oh, Magus Sister. Jeez. Thank you. Yeah, that's the Magus Sister.
I get them confused a lot.
Yeah. That shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I thought Invenerable was using that glass helm very much to his advantage. Oh, and a Moon Veil. All right, so this fight is gonna, I'm not gonna say free, but it's gonna be a lot easier than we first thought. Great White still wailing away on Valvalis, and we have Khobahi about to take his magma key, or I'm sorry, the Massimian.
Great White taking out Valvalis with a good twin attack. Always fun. Finally vanquished his enemy in this game so far.
Ravlin talking to Yang to activate the first item from Sheila, and gonna check out Tomra, see what items are here. Cabins are nice.
Evil Wall getting a little scary. I haven't quite been keeping up with how much damage he's dealing, but it might be close.
I'm a little surprised he isn't doing a YOLO Grimoire.
King Queen was the Dark Imp's Dusty Griff.
Khobahi picking up his Magna Key, saying thank you to whatever god he believes in, and heading straight to Agert.
Yeah, Inven is going to nope out of there. I understand completely. I understand the gamble too. It's one of those things you got to do in races sometimes, but he's going to probably be disappointed what he finds in the Magnus Cave. Very reasonable gamble though. I've seen races, plenty of races won and lost based on how early you take the hook seat and go for it.
Looks like Ravlin is going to raid the dwarf castle, possibly before taking it on. Ooh, poison axe and a strength ring. That's nice. Can upgrade either Cecil or Sid's attack and their power with the strength ring.
It's like Khobahi hot on this trail, taking all those dwarf items. They will not be going any battles anytime soon.
Buying an earth hammer for Sid, which is an upgrade. The other nice thing about the earth hammer, that if you use it as an item, it will cast Quake, which is maybe half the damage of a Gaia drum, give or take. GreatWightHope finishing off ordeals and picking up his twin harp. Ooh, Artemis arrow pickup for Invenerable in the Cave Magnus. That's a nice pickup.
Yeah, it definitely is, especially with two casters. Looks like Khobahi not going inside dwarves just yet, whereas Ravlin is finishing off his Baron officer and soldiers, and will get a character. Here's hoping for Edward.
I don't know. With some bows and some arrows, Edward wouldn't be useless, that's for sure.
Great White going straight for that twin harp, following those breadcrumbs. Where Khobahi is right on Ravlin's trail, cleaning up the underworld.
We have the Kaipo guards down, and now we have a blue hooded figure. I think Water Hag, maybe?
Uh-oh.
Oh, you called it. You called it.
Apology to the runners. I kind of feel bad now.
Oh, this is the Fabul Gauntlet. Oh.
Oh, see you, Edward. So I think the good news is, I mean, this spot only has about 3,000 hit points, I think, but split amongst, 12 or 13 enemies?
Yeah, so it's not a particularly difficult fight. It's just long and drawn out.
I did. I cursed them. Don't tell them. They'll never let me commentate again.
Oh, I've done worse things. I roll seeds. I roll troll seeds. So, yeah, if they let me still commentate, they'll let you commentate for an Edward.
We are getting to see lots of awesome quakes from Palom. I'm really showing off his use. He's strong beyond his years. So Ravlin, after this spot, will have... He can go check out Sheila and see what she has, and then I think Babel would be his other choice.
Yep. Still hasn't done the Baron in, though. I gotta figure picking up a healer at this point is starting to become a priority. Oh, and we're gonna see who's behind the package. And it's Yang, certainly a character worth keeping at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I like he did the say right before, because if it's someone you don't care for, you can just nope right out of there and reset and move along. Yang will be worth the 2 or 3 minutes or however it takes to finish all these cutscenes, along with one boss fight.
And we have dual-wing Dragon Mist fights.
Ravlin's still taking away at his gauntlet on the last few parts, I think.
Maggie, the character at the Baronin is Porum. So if he had done the Baronin, he would have Porum in his party. I think he tried the Baronin, but got stuffed by the Antlion.
Miriachi, unfortunately, we've already found Wyvern up on Mount Hobbs, and all 4 runners managed to take him down. Very impressive. You're right.
Yeah, and I get my twins mixed up again. Yes, you all are right. It was Palom with the glass helm. Yeah. All right, I can tell my twins apart. Yeah, sure I can. Mm-hmm.
That's right. That means Ravlin did not do Wyvern in Mount Hobbs. And the Earth Crystal from the necklace. Another kind of a tangent, but you get some characters out of it and another key item. They don't have a ton of options at the moment. So rather easy Golbez fight coming up here for khobahi.
So interesting note right now. Our runners have, between them, have checked 9 key item locations. And 7 of them have been key items. Given that there's, I think 34 boss spots and 18 key items to get in this seed, that number should be a lot closer to 50%. So at some point, they're going to start getting a string of, rare, ultra rare items.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or maybe they're all on the moon.
Perhaps, but you're right. We've gotten a lot of items overall. All these strong equipment need to be somewhere, or probably going to find like a sylph somewhere in Ashura. Invenerable's dropping his magma key of disappointment down the well, and he'll soon be hot on everyone's tail, cleaning up the underworld.
Meanwhile, Ravlin checking Sheila, getting the 8th out of 10 key items, the Sand Ruby, which is used because now that gives you access to Futso Ya.
Absolutely. Fully expect our runners to dump Cecil for Fusoya, keeping Edward for the long haul. So I wonder if you're Invenerable and you just now find the Magma Key after trying the hook, do you think you're behind and start taking chances like climbing Babel, or you just power through with what you know is right?
Personally, I wouldn't change my plan at all, because in my way of thinking, all right, so you got to figure at least one or two of these runners did the same thing I did, went down to Babel, tried the evil wall, found, ran up against a wall, no pun intended, and then went to the Cave Magnus. So at this point, I would just kind of keep on keeping on, thinking that at worst, I'm kind of in middle position. Maybe one person gambled Magnus before I did, but unfortunately for Inven, two people did. So
yeah, and you are exactly right. I mean, two of them are kind of right there, but there's still a pass or a darkness crystal and a crystal to find, so no one's truly that much in the lead yet. So Ravlin going to check out what Sheila has for us, I believe. Oh, no, he's going for the Earth Crystal, actually.
Sheila had the Sand Ruby.
That's right.
And I would imagine Ravlin will check these first couple of chests, see if he can't get that, or not, just make it liar out of me. Anyways, what I was saying is check the chest for the Flame Dog chest, which may have a nice piece of equipment in it.
Yeah, you see a lot of people look for those flame dogs. It's fun to say flame dogs, too.
Mr. Ubik, we have not yet seen sirens, so if they exist on this seed, they will be on the moon, if they exist.
So 2 bosses coming up for Ravlin. Luckily, there's a save not too far away.
Justin MVP, can key items be in monster chests in the league rule set? No, not currently in this flag set. This flag set is K2, which means key items can only be in key item positions or summon locations. You find that they can be in monster chests in K3 and K4.
All right, so we have our final lunar boss, Ogopogo, here at the Magus Sister spot. About 9,000 hit points here. If you can withstand those big waves, should be okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't want to use magic against Ogopogo lest you get the blaze counter.
He gets very mad when he casts magic.
And there's the blaze.
Looks like he's got a decent amount of levels to withstand it. With these 2 casters, it's hard to resist throwing down some spells.
Yeah, that's very true. We got Khobahi here at the Dwarf Castle, gonna get his Earth Crystal and Edward. All right, so let's see what two characters we get up here on Zot. Right now, the ideal would be Rosa and Edge.
Yeah, absolutely. And in that last boss battle, got Fusoya Nuke, which is really awesome to have. So for anyone out there who doesn't know, there's a flag, Fusoya flag, that can make him a little more of a nerfed character. Normally when you find him in vanilla game, he has all of the spells and he's very good. And so when you're making your seeds, your 2 options are when you go to ordeals, he gets all spells, or the flag we have on for this, where every time you defeat a boss, he learns 3 random spells of white or black magic, and you gradually get him up to his full strength.
So Ravlin getting Kane and Tella up the Tower of Zot. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, Tella for sure, right?
I don't know.
It was a joke. I'm not very serious.
All right, so he does ditch Tella. Yeah, given that he has, I forgot he had Fu. So yeah,
I don't know if you caught it. He used Tella to kick out Edward, and then Kane to kick out Tella. A little revenge for Tella on that spoony bard. So Ravlin has a very good party right now. He's set as far as I can tell.
It'll be interesting to see if he finds Rosa what he does, because while Fu is an excellent all-around character, the thing is he only has 190 HP. So that, or MP. So that means right now only 4 castings of Cure 4. Now granted, you can find elixirs and stuff along the way, but that's not a terribly lot number of cures for Zeromus. So it'll be interesting to see if Ravlin finds like Rosa, if one of the fighters like Sid or Cecil go to the wayside.
Yeah, it's definitely something worth considering. You never know when you're going to get to Zeromus and what you're going to have HP wise. So if you happen to go for low levels and you don't have that many Cure 4s available, it can make it a lot trickier. Khobahi's caught up in his Gauntlet down in Dwarf Castle. Great White cleaning up Underworld, and I don't know where Invenerable is. I was really fixated on Ravlin for a while there.
Invenerable is in the Tower of Babil, the underground Tower of Babil. I believe he has climbed to the top of it and found the Water Hag, and he is going to get the Darkness Crystal.
There you go. There's those gambles I was talking about earlier. You never know what's going to pay off, and it could be very, very useful, especially because we have not found a pass yet.
To answer the question from Julison in chat, the prize from Zot was the Ninja Robe. So again, more good equipment for Edge.
Yeah, Ravlin is hot on the trail climbing Babel, so we'll have 2 players with the Darkness Crystal very soon, probably heading to the moon to see what's up there.
Wow, Dark Elf at the Super Cannon. And something we need to take note of at this point, our weapon situation is pretty underwhelming, to say the least. I believe the best weapon we have right now for anybody is the Poison Axe.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that too. Like when we picked up Kane, I don't even know if we had any spears in the first place.
I believe Kane is equipped with the Assassin Dagger at this point, which if you're not grinding, that's pretty bad.
Invenerable casually watching an explosion. About to head down, get another key item. Gotta feel good about finding the Darkness Crystal, though, considering he probably thinks he's a bit behind.
Yep, this is going to be interesting to see what Invenerable does from here, because if he thinks that this seed is such that there's going to be important stuff on the moon, he might go straight to the moon. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, khobahi doing the same thing, because after Zot, they still don't have too many options of where they can head. So, looking like maybe a crystal on the moon, or in the Land of Summons, I think.
Or could be unlocked by something on the moon. Right now, we still
Right.
have the Luca key to unlock. We still need the pan.
Pan, Baron Key, Rat Tail. General plus A really fast, but it looks like it was the Luca key.
This is an insane rate we have going on right now. 10 of the 13 key item locations that have been checked have been key items. I mean, this is an insane rate. But the ironic thing is we still have no crystal.
Yeah, we could end up in a spot where we're heading to the moon with, 6 places to check, only looking for just a crystal. Invenerable, too cool for the warps, so he's going to use an exit to get out of there.
Might do, and then got the darkness crystal from the top of the Tower of Babel. Invenerable will be very happy talking to Sheila before going up to the moon, given that he's going to now get Fusoya.
Absolutely. And Invenerable didn't get his Earth crystal, so really the moon is his only option after this. Unless he wants to go Luca Key, but who wants to go Luca Key?
Well, he still hasn't done dwarfs.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Meanwhile, GreatWightHope is getting his yang.
And then going to wake up Fusoya. Very happy old man to find in the bed.
Be interesting to see who he ditches for Fusoya.
Ravlin encountering the good old menu boss.
Oh, that's right. Invenerable didn't hit 5 party members yet, so he doesn't have to ditch anybody. So he's got, Sid, Cecil, and the twins, and Fu. Great White also picking up his Fu. So everybody has a Fu right now.
That's right. Great White kicking out Sid, it looked like. When you have Yang, he's much better, so no need to keep both.
Yep, and it does look like Inven is making the moon play. Meanwhile, Ravlin looks to be making the summon monsters play.
Very interesting. I didn't catch what his levels are at. These bosses could be a little tough. One of the good things about the moon is you can check that last item shop they haven't seen for sirens especially, and anything else they might need, so you really know what your grinding situation is going to be. Thankfully, with Fu on your team, the D machine grind is very available.
If Fusoya has weak. I'm not sure he's got access to weak yet.
Yeah, he might still be 2 or 3 bosses from being full powered. So he's a 1700, so I think 2 more.
Now, Ravlin is full power right now. Now, these elements are going to hit like a truck, but with Fusoya in tow, this fight might not be too terribly bad. Given that, nuke.
All right, let's see what our moon shop has for us.
And Khobahi making the Luca key play.
Wow, lots of diversion right now. which is great as a viewer, very confusing as a commentator.
And it looks like we have no access to sirens in this seed.
No sirens. Cure 3s and Silk Webs are nice, but might be a D machine seed for us.
And it looks like Ravlin did not the elements on the first try.
Yeah, they can be tough. I mean, I think your goal is you want to try to kill him at Mylan, but with the firepower he's putting out, I don't know how possible that is. Hey! Look at that Luca play. Someone called that in chat.
What was it? I missed it. What was the item?
It was a little crystal. So Khobahi must be feeling amazing right now. Once he rids himself of this little Odin problem. So that could be something that the other 3 runners don't do for a long time.
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't clear the Luca key until, almost last. So this is certainly for Invenerable, this is very bad news. Oh, but that's bad news for Khobahi.
Yeah, that is a tough Odin spot.
But at least he knows where the crystal is, and he has the darkness crystal, so he's probably going to do a D machine grind.
Absolutely. I mean, effectively in go mode, or at least no mode for him.
Ooh, and Ravlin does take down the Azura spot. Let's see what we have in the Azura spot. We have the Adamant armor.
Hey, not going to complain about that. Especially with caster heavy party a lot of our people have. Yeah, Lex, I would have considered doing doors for sure. I mean, they're relatively quick, and I believe they have coffins to make it a little faster. I guess the only thing is I don't know if Khobahi's at 10 key items yet, which makes it a little less desirable. Nope, he's exactly 10. My bad.
Yeah, but he is definitely going to do a D machine grind.
Yeah, Khobahi does have 10. I always miss the add a bit.
Now it looks like Ravlin is going back to the elements spot. Well, the Leviathan spot that has the elements. I missed who he slapped the adamant armor on, though. I would imagine Fuzoya.
Really neat to see all 4 runners in very different places.
Chat telling me he put it on Palom. Makes some sense. Okay, GreatWightHope about to pick up his Earth Crystal. And Khobahi about ready to get his grind on.
The Great White's going to head straight for Zot. And follow that lead that the game has given him. Khobahi didn't quite get the battle he wanted. And Invenerable doing some King reuse. Not a bad grind spot. You're here in the moon, might as well get some levels. You can, if you get 2 of them, you can life glitch them, which really helps.
Now, at this point, for Invenerable, any experience helps. So that 30,000 gets Invenerable up quite a number of levels.
Thanks, Vacuum, for clarifying the door coffin situation. I don't think I've actually tried it on him before, but I just threw it out there. With Quake on your side, they're usually not too bad.
And Ravlin getting the Leviathan spot down, and from the Leviathan spot, we get a Rat Tail.
So another path that unfortunately won't pay off for him. Unless it's passed, I suppose that would save some time.
All right, so we have begun the D Machine grind. Ravlin making a very, well, not interesting, but he's making the half correct play by going straight to the Luca Key. Problem is, I'm not quite sure he's going to be able to beat Odin, and he didn't save.
Oh, man, no, that...
Please save at the save point in here. Please, please, please.
I hope so. He's doing all right. I guess from Ravlin's point of view, he has this Rat Tail or Moon to go for. I suppose it's a little faster, even though it's only 1 item. Compared to the Moon, anyway.
Well, it looks like we have Rubicant at one of the lunar spots. That's fun. Is fun the right word?
I mean, when you have Nuke and Fusoya, it can be. I guess I totally missed those Rosa on the Moon. Awesome pickup.
And Ravlin walks right by the save point.
Well, fingers crossed. I'm rooting for him.
Oh boy, this could be interesting.
I'm guessing his last save was right before downing the Leviathan spot.
Oh, Scala saying that he did save outside. I must have missed that then. I trust our trusty tracker.
I definitely trust her. He's a smart dude, I imagine. He covers tracks.
Does have Lightning 3 on Palom. This could make the fight easier, maybe.
Pow. What a Lightning 3.
Yeah, Odin is weak to lightning, so... Got him!
Damn, look at that. Didn't need the save after all.
Oh, that's huge for Ravlin, who is now in grind and go mode.
Absolutely. And it's exactly what he needs for his positioning to finish up his final race.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, this is Ravlin's final race. And right now he has 5 points in his first 3 races. If Ravlin pulls out a win and gets those 4 points from the win, that'll put him at 9 total points, which could very well get him into one of the play-in races. So Ravlin really needs this to work out, really needs this win, and he might get it. All right, so it looks like Khobahi is calling the grind done with 1.29 million experience.
That's an acceptable place to stop. Casual 30 levels per character.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, Killen, I was wondering that. So, if you're Ravlin, do you consider like doing the doors on the way out rather than flying all the way to the moon or all the way to get the whale and then go all the way up giant, or do you think it's about a push for time?
I'm sorry, ask that again.
I was going to say, when you say you find Crystal in Luca Cave's spot, do you consider just walking out and doing all the doors on your way, or do you think it's about the same time as getting the whale, flying, going to giant, and climbing that?
Depends if you've had. Well, given that we have no pass, I would do something on the moon. I would do the King Ryu's or the Warlock carry random encounter on the moon. I would do that on the moon.
You're right. I totally forgot about missing pass.
Yeah, given that we have no sirens, I might just do the random encounters, Warlock and carries. Invenerable looked like he picked up the spoon from one of our moon boss spots.
I believe that was his Rubicant battle at I forget which bosses you were on the moon, to be honest. The middle room, not the right room, I think.
Oh, the middle room. So that would be the white spear spot. So I'd imagine that Leviathan here is at the ribbon spot. I would wager to gander.
I believe so. I could have them reversed. I didn't see which door he walked in. I know some people like to go right and work their way back, but Khobahi is done with his grind, so he's just got to zoom through Luca to get his crystal, and he will be good to go. So it should be a pretty tight race from what I can see between our bottom two racers.
Yeah, it should be. All right, so let's see what Invenerable is going to get here from the ribbon spot.
Fortunately, he does have to walk all the way down Luca Cave and then skip his way out a smidge faster before he makes the walk of shame all the way to 0. A lot of walking for the runners today.
So for his trouble, Invenerable gets a pan and a protect ring. The protect ring's really nice. The pan's a key item. Dr. Degenerator, the crystal is where Khobahi is going right now. It is in the sealed cave.
Right, so as you said, Ravlin, ditching Palin for Rosa, a very good upgrade for sure. Especially since he is going to grind on the moon, he might not quite get to the levels like a D machine grind or even Sirens would get him. So it's really good to have the better healer, in my opinion.
Ooh, Invenerable finding the pan. It's like, you know what? I'm going to go check this pan.
Totally understandable. When you're in as deep as he is with all the tangents and paths he's taken, you kind of just got to go for it and hope for the best. Because clearing the moon and not finding much what you're looking for is not the best feeling. So you're kind of just hoping for a Hail Mary at this point.
And the Sylphs give him the Legend Sword. I bet you Invenerable's actually happy to see that, because he still has Paladin Cecil, who can very much use that Excalibur.
Yeah, really good point. Luckily, it doesn't open up too many other rabbit holes for him, other than giving the pan back, that's a nice thing to do.
Invenerable no one Excalibur?
Trying to smash Fabul with this airship first. Then going to return the skillet he borrowed. No longer needs it.
Khobahi making quick work of Odin.
Sweet, sweet revenge.
Ooh, and Ravlin using his one siren on this double King Ryu battle.
Very cool. A sweet, 90k experience. Oh man, I was way off.
Well, it's 90k vanilla. But remember, he has 10 key items, so it's doubled to 180.
That's right.
So returning the pan got Invenerable the Baron key. And guess what rabbit hole he's going down.
Yeah, I mean, knowing what we know, it looks like a mess, but I mean, I feel him for sure, and it'd probably do the same thing when you've gone as deep as you have. You kind of, I feel like in games like this, you just have to commit to what you got and then hope for the best, because you have those places you skipped and kind of left for later, and they just kind of burn a hole in you. So I totally understand following through. Yeah, that's a good point, Jazz. Will we go ahead and check Odin's spot while he's down here? All right, so Khobahi hot on Ravlin's trail, but already leveled. We'll see what this gets Ravlin's group to level-wise if he has to do any more.
Now, Dusty Griff making a very good point in chat that he's not using weak on the King Ryus, which they are susceptible to.
Casual 34 levels for Rosa, not bad.
Yeah, but that's not going to get Rosa to where she needs to be.
Absolutely not.
Meat Shield, he did use the life glitch on the first King Ryu. But remember, the life glitch only works if it doesn't end the battle, so he can only do it once. And let's see what GreatWightHope does with Rosa. You already saw Khobahi ditch Rosa.
He hasn't done his grind yet, so
yeah, without doing his grind yet, I would absolutely take Rosa over Porum at this point. And we have an Octomom fight. Yeah, goodbye, Octomom. Ravlin taking on Rubicon for the decent experience at this location.
Khobahi is turboing his way to Zeromus. Nothing will stop him on his mission.
I'm a little surprised he didn't do the ribbon spots, because the ribbon spot actually has more experience to get than this White Lance spot. Okay, Invenerable ditching Rydia. And waves at Ravlin as he goes by.
I know, there he goes. If you guys are ones who like to predict, go ahead and throw some guesses out there for who we might see at the end. For those who don't know, a few of you, the best flag is the Z flag, which really creates some madness on our final boss. We won't be seeing our standard guy. We will see someone even better, though with the same stats. So who will it be?
Oh, Invenerable now going to go check the Odin spot. Meanwhile, GreatWightHope looks like he's going to grind a little bit. Oh, guards, this is easy with a couple of coffins. Goodbye.
Yeah, he should be good. They're very fast at this spot, but we are faster.
Yeah, but coffins, kill them. Kill them dead. All right, so let's see. What do we have here in Zeromus land? We have... Drum roll, please. King are cruel.
That is a first for me. I love it. Started with DK Cecil, ending with King K. Rool.
Invenerable now going back to the moon to do the mass immune spot.
Yeah, he actually reset and loaded an earlier save before he even dipped Baron at all. Saved a lot of time getting right there to the moon. But unfortunately for Inven, it's going to end up being the last place possible for him to check for what he needed. Totally happens to all of us, though.
I don't see any way. Even GreatWightHope too at this point. I don't see any way that they're not 17 out of 17 in this seed.
You know, so spots like Luca Cave and even Tower of Babel, people that they're a one-off. Usually, they're kind of out there underworld. People don't like the tangent and do them all the time, and unfortunately, it's what you had to do this seed. So Ravlin's still mid to high 40s with this levels, it looks like. For some people, that's enough. I don't know. To be honest, I wouldn't feel comfortable that low, but I've seen it done for sure.
I wouldn't be comfortable, but that's me. I would try to fight, maybe another Battle of the King reuse or something. But that's me. And he looks to be going.
It has a decent amount of HP, So, I mean, that's typically what I look for when I'm going for it. He could go for Ogo. Nope, he's going. All right, here we go.
He already did the Ogo spot. No, he didn't. That's right. No, he didn't. And I missed what the Ogo spot gave Invenerable. Defense sword. Okay. And now Invenerable going to the Crystal Sword location.
Yeah, he does not want to go to Luca Cave. He's going to hold off, and unfortunately, he will not like what he finds there.
Ravlin approaching his Zeromus fight. Khobahi, grinding through it at this point. His equipment isn't the greatest, so it's taking a little bit of time to kill his Zeromus, but he will go down.
You kind of called this earlier, saying we found so many key items early that these late spots have just been good equipment and good items, but it's been kind of just, item after item and not the key items the top two runners are trying to find here on the moon.
All right, Ravlin getting berserk on his fighters.
Snoops, one of the flags you can set when you create a seed is the very last one, Z. Turning it on just unlocks different sprites for Zeromus. His stats and behaviors are all the same, but some really hard-working people behind the scenes have put together over 250 different sprites that you can find here at the Zeromus battle.
Our wonderful tracker, Scala Kitty, who you see in chat, is responsible for a vast number of these.
Pure magic she has worked, let me tell you.
Khobahi's still not out of the nuke phase, although I gotta imagine he's getting close to the Meteo phase. Meanwhile, Bygone giving Invenerable some problems. Ravlin, fighting his way through Cruel Myth, and GreatWightHope doing a bit of grinding.
Here we go. Khobahi hitting some Meteo. It should be the final stretch for him. Kind of a strong Meteo, but I think he'll be okay.
As long as he doesn't hit another Meteo, should be just fine. Oh, and there's a cure for. So, yeah, we're good. Too bad Fusoya has turned into Uncle Mop.
Porum saves the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, get out your GGs. Khobahi has finished in first place in this race with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 43 seconds.
Get your GGs in for Khobahi. That is his second victory. 2 for 2 so far in the top 32 for him.
And with that chime, I do believe we have Khobahi joining us in chat. Khobahi, good game. Nicely done.
GG, my man.
Thank you. Wasn't the kindest seed, but it got done.
So your winning play was hitting that Luca Cave as early as you did. You a couple of the runners put it way off. Ravlin's right behind you, but you hit it early, man. What was the thought process in that?
My main thought process is the boss usually isn't too bad. And if it's something like the spoon or even like the pink tail, or even in the situation I was in the past, I could just reset, because at that point it would be going to the moon afterwards. So it's basically just a quick check to make sure I didn't miss it before I went up to the moon.
And boy, did it pay off. That was really nicely done. Nice theory there, and it worked out. What did you think of Odin the first time around?
As soon as I saw him, I was a little scared. I knew I had Nuke with Fusoya, but I knew my other characters weren't strong, and I did not have good weapons for that entire run, so...
No, the weapons were really lacking. I think the best weapon we've seen were... somebody found... I think you found some Artemis arrows, I think in the Dwarf Castle, maybe? But other than that, it was the Poison Axe, I think, was the best that we've seen.
Yeah, basically Poison Axe and Yang having levels is what saved me.
Yeah. Although I shouldn't say that. Invenerable did find a defense sword behind Ogopogo.
Like Ogopogo actual spot, or the...
The spot, the Mass Immune spot.
Oh, fun. So he went up to the moon after Tower, I guess?
Yeah, Invenerable went pretty early up to the moon. Unfortunately, the gamble didn't pay off, but he's really doesn't want to go Luca Cave. I think he's getting there, but yeah. But hey, good GG for you, man. That's 2 for 2 so far in these 4-way races. How you feeling?
Obviously pretty good. Surprised to win the last one, but I don't know. I apparently made some interesting plays that paid off, and apparently I did it again. I don't know. I guess I just need to like make the play that doesn't seem right.
So, when your next race is...
I believe in a week's time.
There it is. It is, yep, in 1 week's time against Supremacy Hippos and Big Dunka. So with your 8 points in 2 races, I think you're in a pretty good spot to advance to the round of 16. Your thoughts on that and your upcoming race?
Obviously the better place I can get, the better. Everyone in this top 32 is good. Being in the top 16 would be great. Not having to get in the play-ins would be awesome, but who knows what could happen. I could get 4th places in my next 2 races and be fighting for my spot.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely looking good so far. You want to talk a little bit about the beginning of the seed? There's definitely a lot of little roadblocks here and there, and then the potential of a hook seed. Kind of what were you thinking about as you were doing the early checks?
Well, the very first off, hoping for a couple attack items, found I think it was an early Gaia Drum and an early Stardust, so I was pretty happy with that. And then Wyvern blocking Porum was interesting. So after that, I was kind of really hoping for Sirens just to get the kid up to Quake and then destroy everything, but, we had to do what we had to do, and eventually finding that Magma Key was nice. I don't even know what other boss was down below besides Evil Wall.
If I can interrupt, we have Ravlin finishing in 2nd place in the seed with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 4 seconds. Get your GGs out, chat.
GG to Ravlin. To answer your question, Khobahi, I believe it was Dark Imps at the Maga Sister spot.
Oh, that would have been fine. I bought coffins I never used.
Or, I mean, at the King Queen spot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with that chime, I do believe we have Ravlin joining us. Ravlin, good game. Well played.
Thank you. I wish there was someone besides my husband in the house when I found the crystal. There was a lot of cheering at that moment.
I can only imagine.
I sort of figured in that moment that not a lot of people would have dived the sealed cave there, so I hoped that I had a big lead over everyone else.
Yeah, you were pretty close on there. I mean, you and Khobahi checked it maybe, a little bit before you, but you went and did your grind before checking it. But our top 2 runners, they went moon, which unfortunately did not pay off for them.
I am glad I did not make that choice this time. Yeah,
so Ravlin, you were actually the one that made the play to Cave Magnus first. I mean, what were you? Were you just in a mindset that was, all right, I want to clear this overworld before having to deal with that sealed wall of the evil wall? Was that your theory there?
So basically, I figured that I was going to need some more XP on my characters before I was going to be able to take on those bosses in the Upper Tower of Babel. And Cave Magnus is a boss. It would give me some XP, and it turned out really nice for me. You know, it was just I know I need to be more powerful before I can reasonably attempt those two bosses, so that's why I went there.
So Ravlin, 5 points in your first 3 races. You get 3 out of this to get to 8. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I'm probably not. If I make anything, it's going to be in the final play-in race where only the top one makes it. But you know what? After coming from 2 4th place finishes to 2 2nd places, I'm actually pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, we all know with these races, one decision here and there makes such a huge difference. Things can take a turn at any place. So it's got to feel good to finish strong like you have.
Yeah, and I feel like throughout most of the tournament thus far, you know, I don't think I've made any serious like misplays of, you know, what the hell was he thinking, other than forgetting I had Nuke and wiping to Lunar Dragons in the last race. But let's leave that one behind. You know, so I think I've been very pleased with my execution. I think it's mostly come down to decision making, and you know, rando gonna rando. Sometimes you make the good choice, sometimes you don't, and you don't know until you get there.
So, any other questions or let's say any comments, khobahi, Ravlin, before we let you go on this seed?
Nothing here. So, you know, if you don't check Moon, pretty standard seed. Sirenless was fun, but you know, you do what you got to do.
I've just gotten to the point where I assume there are no sirens anymore because I just never find them.
Nice. Yeah, I ran into Odin, said nope, went D-machine grinded, and went back.
Very nice. I'm actually going to jump into the RPG Limit Break stream and watch the other 2 racers finish up.
Same thing.
All right.
You need both of you guys. It was real fun to watch you and commentate for it.
Yeah, good job, guys, and we will see you in the chat.
GG.
So at this point in time, we have actually seen all 18 key items in this seed. So while GreatWightHope gets to the Crystal Sword spot and Invenerable checks out the Land of the Summon Monsters, I'm just going to go through them quick. We started with the hook. The Antlion had the Adamant. The Fabool Gauntlet had the Tower Key. Mount Ordeals had the Twin Harp. The Mist Dragon had the Magma Key. The Land of the Summon Monsters had the Package. The Dwarf Castle had the Earth Crystal. Sheila, the first go-around, had the Sand Ruby. The top of the Tower of Babel had the Darkness Crystal. The Super Cannon had the Luca Key. The Sealed Cave had the Crystal. That was the big one. The Sealed Cave has the Crystal. The Leviathan spot has the Rat Tail. The White Spear spot, so the Plague spot had the Spoon. One of the ribbon spots had the Pan. The Sylphs had the Legend Sword. The Returning the Pan to Sheila got you a Baron Key. Oh boy. The Going Through the Baron Castle got you the Pink Tail. And the Wyvern spot has the Pass. Whew.
An excellent recap right there. Yeah, I mean, as a viewer, it's nice to see where everything is, but I mean, Invenerable does not want to go to Luca Cave. Maybe deep inside he knows, like, I should have gone there long ago, but he's checking absolutely everything else he can.
Yeah, it looks like that this is going to be, I think there's, 34 bosses in this particular run. And I'm pretty sure Invenerable will have seen them all because he did do the Mist Dragon and Octomom check earlier in the seed.
That's right, he did. good news is, in all of his travels, Invenerable has picked up a decent amount of levels on his character, so he's somewhat breezing through these bosses a little faster than the other runners did when they tried them earlier in the game.
And I would imagine he's leaving Cecil for dead for agility manipulation purposes.
Yeah, not a bad idea at all. Still an important race for these last two spots. I mean, for Invenerable, it's only a second race, and Great White is first, actually. But, you know, I'm sure we're going to get to a point where 1 point can make a difference between, you know, 17th or 16th place, or even 21st or 20th for that last play-in.
Invenerable taking on the Magic Sisters, and GreatWightHope taking on the Karate Man.
Yeah, good point in chat by Ravlin. All four runners ended up with different parties because those real different orders of when they went to their character collection spots. So it kind of got a good viewing of how different characters can be used in runs like this. Especially healers and casters saw a lot of different combos.
Yeah, indeed. And you can see everybody values, you know, things a little bit differently. And that's one of the really nice things about this randomizer is you can kind of customize your party the way you like it. I prefer to have physical attackers. My preferred party is physical attackers, one black mage, and, you know, one white mage, ideally. But, you know, everybody's a little bit different.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I feel more comfortable when I have 3 attackers and 2 casters. But, you know, the thing about these seeds is you got to take what it gives you, and, you know, you don't always really get that much of a say in it. Would have liked to see someone keep Edward, but, you know, I understand you gotta work with what you have.
And now Invenerable makes the play he needs to make.
Going to be a lot of mixed feelings, I'm sure, from him when he collects this item at the back. But luckily his levels are okay, and he has the pass, so he can get right out of there, zip to Detroit, I can never say that city, and head to Zeromus and be wrapping it up not too shortly from now.
And I would imagine once GreatWightHope takes care of Bahamut here, that he's going to be pretty much right behind Invenerable.
Yep, and he's also pretty good on levels, so see what happens.
Yeah, I can't imagine Great White needing much of any grinding.
Yeah, in chat they're talking about silly parties. I believe there was an earlier race in the tournament where someone, or it could have been a weekly, but I saw someone win with a Rydia Asura healer, which was pretty wild to watch. Because kind of it's like gambling. You never really know what you're going to get.
Invenerable making his safety save before dealing with Odin. And I'm pretty sure if we could see Invenerable's face right now, his eyes are probably rolling into the back of his head.
Absolutely. In Zelda 3 randos usually get some frustration slashes. Here we just get that long, awkward pause. At least his Odin should be mostly a breeze. It's all these nukes you can throw at him. An interesting four-caster party he has, though. It'll be fun to watch his Zeromus. It'll be very different from our other runners.
Yeah, it'll be a lot different. I might think he might try Berserk Rosa strats, given that he has Artemis arrows.
That would be fun. I hope he does. Looks like Great White's going to do his pan thread cleanups before heading to Luca. Understandable, they're quick-ish, but not what he needs to do, unfortunately.
We'll see if he, because I believe it's the Sylphs that give the Legend Sword, and given that they got Adamant so early, it'd be interesting to see if GreatWightHope turns in the Legend Sword and the Adamant for Excalibur for his Cecil, given that he just found the Avenger on the Vanilla Bahamut.
Yeah, I mean, we're down here, so it's not too far out of the way at all. All right, so Inven's heading for the pub. Grab a quick drink and then head on to Zeromus.
And it looks like GreatWightHope is actually going to check out the summon monsters first.
Should be able to clear those bosses pretty quickly. He won't be happy with what he finds, but
No, I don't think he'll be. Oh, go ahead.
To say, I mean, at this point, hey, full clear it and say we completely beat the game.
I don't think he'll be completely displeased to find the Adamant Arbor, but it's not going to be his favorite thing in the world, that's for sure.
Alright, so casting Madness incoming for Invenerable. It's a real cool strat. I haven't really practiced it too much myself, but it's very impressive. And if you pull it off right, you can get Zeromus to his video phase a lot faster than just beating him down.
Invenerable doing a round of parries, I would imagine, to see the order in which he's going to be able to do things. Oh, and Starvale goes up on Cecil, so we are getting reflect strats, that's for sure.
Very cool to see a different strategy. Impresses me, that's for sure.
GreatWightHope makes quick work of those elements. And incoming wall strats. Here we go.
Absolutely. Doing some fat damage, too. It should be a pretty quick fight at this rate.
Yeah, and given the weapons in this seed, this is probably the quickest way to deal with this guy.
Yeah, it's kind of what the seed was pushing for sure. And Supremacy, I agree with you. For anyone not in the know, so the playoffs are going to be with a C3 flag, and what that kind of does, it only places 5 unique characters into the pool of where you find them, and that's all you get. So on one hand, it'll be neat because all of our runners will have the same characters to choose from and use, but you could end up with a twins, Tella, Edward, and Sid seed for something like that. That could be a real challenge.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to those flags. Those will be fun. Fun, of course, in quotation marks for the runners. It'll be fun for the viewers.
Absolutely fun for the viewers.
GreatWightHope picking up his adamant armor.
We'll see what he decides to do next. Both of the next options are right there. He could pick up a good sword or head to the Cave of Disappointment for half our runners.
And Porom is now taking a dirt nap.
And there we go. That wraps it up for Invenerable.
Invenerable is finished in third place in this seed with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 28 seconds.
Get your GGs in for Invenerable. He did manage to more or less full clear the game in less than 2 hours. It's a very impressive feat.
And for the trouble of turning in the rat tail, you get the Drain Spear. And with that chime, we do have Invenerable joining us. Invenerable.
Hey.
So, what was your face like finding that crystal in the sealed cave?
Not as ridiculous as my face was when I found the magma key on Mist Dragon.
Yeah, that one must not have been pleasant either. Kind of walk us through some of your paths and decisions, because now we can look back and see what would have worked, but at the time, anything could have gone. So what kind of were you thinking about heading to this seed?
Sure. Well, I knew Evil Wall was up in Lower Babel, and I timed my XP gains just right to get to Quake on Palom before getting there, and I knew I had the Moon Veil for Cecil. So I'm like, okay, this'll be okay. I'll just Moon Veil Cecil, cover Palom, and use Quake and get through. And then, of course, the speed at that spot did not agree with that at all. So I'm like, okay, let's go elsewhere, see if we can find some gear, maybe an adamant armor or ribbon or something to at least let me survive the crush attacks at the end. Get up to Cave Magnus and then see Mist Dragon there, and I'm like, oh no. And then, sure enough, Kapal, there's the magma key. At this point, I'm thinking, oh gosh, I'm really behind. If I find Darkness Crystal, I gotta make a play for the moon. Just, not clear up these things. Let me get caught up that way. And it was just a long chain of debated. So, yeah, it didn't work out. But given how much I cleared in under 2 hours, I'm okay with how I performed.
Absolutely. I was just saying that. I could hardly do regular seeds this fast, so very impressive, despite, probably not turning out the way you wanted.
It's fine. I will take a third place finish. This league is really intense, tons of great racers in it, and just you got to get those points where you can get them. So I'll take it.
So, what was your decision toward the end of the game, taking Rosa and running with Cecil and Four Mages?
Oh, I knew that because I didn't I felt again far behind. I didn't want to worry about gear management, so I thought, let me get the characters that'll let me do reflect strats at Zeromus, and yeah, so cut that fight in half at least, saved a few minutes that way, and once you do get your mages going, they can chew through the vast majority of bosses in the game, so I felt okay with it.
Cool. So I mean, yeah, as I have said, rando's gonna rando sometimes, and you unfortunately got randoed with this one. I think I mentioned to Cool Pants Guy here that there are 34 bosses in Final Fantasy IV, and I'm pretty sure you saw each one except for the 2 in the Giant.
I also did not go up. I don't think I went up Zot. So, let me look at my checklist
Right. Did you do Dwarf? Now that you mentioned,
I didn't do Dwarf either. I ended up. It was kind of funny because there's a lot of stuff that my little endgame tracker here won't show I did, because I took that pan, followed it all the way through Baron and Odin, and then as soon as it popped up that crystal ring, I hit reset and went right back to my save on the moon to wrap up the work I'd been doing up there. So I did I felt kind of good about that little trickiness, doing the multiple save thing and just reverting back to moon when it didn't play out. But got to check that Luca key before I leave Earth. It doesn't cost you anything. Peek it, take a look, then get out of town. I do have a question though about the other runners. Seeing Odin at Evil Wall spot, I'm like, wow, I'm glad I'm already ridiculously over leveled. Did anyone else have trouble with that spot at lower levels when they were down on Earth, or did they do some moon grinding and come back?
So khobahi did that first and did wipe once to Odin, but wasn't far off from killing him the first time. And then he went to grind on the moon, came back, and went through. Ravlin had decent levels, and he had Lightning 3 on Palom and Fu. Mm-hmm. So he just Lightning 3 Odin to death.
Oh yeah, that'll do it too. Very nice. But yeah, just when I got that pan on the moon, I'm like, okay, let's chase it. And then the chain kept growing and kept growing and kept growing. But what can you do? I'm okay with it though. I do need to get out of this headset and into a frosty beverage of some kind, guys. So I'm gonna dip out.
All right.
GG everyone, and I'm looking forward to seeing GWH wrap up this seed as well. So I'll see y'all in chat.
GG, man. It was good watching you. Good luck in your future races.
Hey, thanks y'all.
All right, so now we have GreatWightHope getting the crystal ring from the Odin spot.
Yeah,
little tease there with the crystal.
Oh, I know. Such a disappointing symbol right next to a great word. He's doing a lot of the same things Invenerable did, just a little bit behind. I think at this point, he's got to be heading for Luca. But we will hang with him, cheer him on for a nice strong finish.
Absolutely. So while he's taking care of the Octomom here, we should probably make mention of the upcoming races in the league. We do have one tomorrow here on RPG Limit Break at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and that will feature Dipwood, Almagus, Mr. Ubik, and Abda Jr. And then on the 16th, we do have another race here at 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on RPG Limit Break. That one will feature GreatWightHope, Dipwood, Eisen-Tayana, and The Fizz. So we've got quite a few races. Then we've got a threesome of races. Three races coming up on Saturday. So busy day and weekend for the Highway to the Zemus-Zone League.
Absolutely. Lots of races coming up. And also lots of community races to go on too. We have weekly races on Monday nights at 9:30 Eastern, and Friday nights as well at I believe it's 7 Eastern. That anyone is always welcome to come join.
GreatWightHope finding ready and be like, yeah, no. Okay, so coming up pretty soon, GreatWightHope is going to get his pink tail.
Yeah, not a bad item. I mean, especially, in other times when you're able to tag team it with the rat tail and get your adamant armor. It's a pretty cool item to find. It's never bad to have more adamant armors. All right, it might finally be happening. Oh, nope, we're going to go get a nice weapon.
I'm going to go get Excalibur for Cecil. And,
might as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, might as well. And especially once now that they have the Avenger, that's a wonderful method of attacking Zeromus. Be interesting to see if he peeks into the shop here, because in S2, this shop can have some nice gear. Nope.
Well, sometimes.
Can't really blame him, though. And some of the nicer things that can be in there are the cat claws for Yang, ribbons for anybody. I think those are really the two primary things you can find in there that are really nice to have.
All right, so here we go. GreatWightHope into the Luca Cave. Gonna cruise through it pretty quickly and be able to wrap his seat up in a relatively near future. Luca Caves do tend to kind of be not desirable for lots of runners. I mean, it's kind of slow. As you saw, you can run into a really rowdy boss sometimes. But sometimes it has its use. If you're really out of grind spots, you can use these doors, which if you have your 10 key items, it's not a terrible grind spot in my opinion. But really, aside from that, people hate Luca Cave. You can't warp. You can't exit out of it. You have to warp floor by floor. It's just not a fun spot to go visit.
And I think that's the big thing with this cave, is not being able to exit out of it. Just takes forever to leave this cave. You know, if walking out takes even longer than warping out. So it's just such a pain in the butt to get through and then get the crystal, fight a boss that can often wreck you, and then have to warp your way out. It's a pain in the rear. I can't blame Invenerable. I can't blame GWH for leaving this until last.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I mean, the thing about the moon is it has 6 spots you can check for key items. It can be a potential treasure trove of key items. It just wasn't today.
All right, GreatWightHope picking up his crystal, and now he gets to battle Odin.
Showing off the Avenger glitch you can do. So when you switch to an Avenger in battle, your character Cecil will keep his stats from the previous weapon he had. So if you have the Excalibur or Crystal Sword, it's a really good trick to use to get a free Berserk.
Devchand in chat asking, what's the point of warp? Warp brings you back to the last floor you visited.
You can see lots of demonstrations of warp coming up very soon. This is a little faster, Dev, than running. Some of these floors are quite spirally and mazy.
All right, so now Great White Hope is making his way back to the surface where... Did he get the pass? I thought he got the pass. We'll see. We'll see. Well, he'll make his way to Zeromus either way. I thought he might have gotten the pass, but maybe not.
Yeah, I can't recall. That was the Wyvern spot, I think.
Indeed, it was the Wyvern spot.
We'll find out.
I really should never doubt Scarlet Kitty's tracking. I really shouldn't.
I know. Yeah, I guess not. So, gotta walk back up there again. He had to search for his whale a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to remember where you park all these vehicles.
Well, no, I think that was, okay, I have the pass and I can go to, wait, no, I don't have the pass. Son of a, and then go.
I've always been curious to time this sprint, see how long it takes.
I think the last time was about 3 minutes I timed. Let's take a look. 2:11 and... Oh, adamant armor on Yang is cheating. 2:11:38.
Here we go.
Let's see how long it takes.
See how fast this speed run goes.
So once again, make sure to give our runners a follow. Great White Hope, Invenerable, Khobahi, and RavlinBay. Make sure you follow them. Also make sure to follow my commentating partner, coolpantsguy, here on Twitter. And also thank you behind the scenes to Penguinator, our wonderful restreamer, and I mentioned this before, but Scarlet Kitty, our wonderful tracker.
Absolutely, guys. These runners put on a great show. They're all very, very skilled. I catch them every once in a while when I can while they're practicing or doing other races. Really, really fun to watch. Really, really good community to be a part of. And if you like what you've seen and haven't already, check out the Free Enterprise Discord. You can get so much more information about the game, other events and races, and just play and practice and have some fun. Meet some cool people.
Yeah, the FF4FE community is awesome. They're full, great people that are always going to help you. I mean, it's just fantastic community. If you're even thinking about doing it, I highly recommend it. And you can always come and chit-chat and have a good time and get help if you need it. It's just an awesome, awesome community. I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, super helpful and friendly. When I first started, I mean, I'd ask probably the dumbest questions that were common sense, but always answered nicely and helped me go from a terrible player to just a very bad player.
Never be afraid to ask questions. I mean, asking questions is how a lot of people learn. And, as I tell my students all the time, never hesitate to ask a question. The dumbest question is one you don't ask.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Coincidentally, I'm also a teacher.
Oh, wow. Very nice. What do you happen to teach?
I teach elementary music.
Oh, you have the patience of a saint, man. You have a patience of the saint.
I do. I got those young humans. I dabbled a little in high school, but this level's a lot of fun. I think it was just under 3 minutes, the track.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
For some reason, it's way longer than I thought. I didn't think it was that long.
Yeah, when we were first discussing this, it was even brought it up in the Discord. It's like, how much quicker or how much slower is it? 3 minutes is still pretty substantial. at least in a race setting like this, it can be substantial.
Yeah, because sometimes you're in a spot where you find the pass, like here on the moon, and it still might be faster to exit out, fly back down, and go that way than finish the walk.
And now we have Cruelness again. GreatWightHope breaking out the Berserk strats on Yang, and I would imagine he's going to glitch out Cecil.
Oh yeah, he's gonna down this in no time with that Excalibur sword and very strong Yang. You're gonna see some really cool strats. Yang gets crazy powerful when he gets high level.
Yeah, 5,000 HP and an adamant armor. Yeah, this is going to be fun to watch. That was low roll, 2884. That's got to be one of the lowest rolls he can make.
Yeah, might be.
This is pretty darn standard Zeromus fight. We've got a couple of people wailing on Zeromus. We've got some nukes flying around.
Yeah, this is kind of the layout and battle you typically hope for in running. Comfortable HP, a nice balanced party.
Looks like GreatWightHope. I think he timed this nuke well, so we should get a nerf of the next Big Bang coming up. No, he completely bypassed that Big Bang. So he's on to the second phase.
Always cool when that happens. Real good feeling.
Looks like he's just waiting for the Big Bang. That'd be interesting to see if Palom can eat this or not. Rip Palom.
He did his best.
Not really a huge deal, though. I mean, this fight isn't going to take too much longer.
Yeah, when you got that abundance of casters, you're okay. So overall, this is a pretty fun run in Seed. You really got to see how a couple decisions here and there can change things up, send you different directions, and at the same time, we got to see some varying strategies and parties. I think overall it was a fun Seed to watch. How about you, Z-Man?
Yeah, it was a very fun Seed to watch, and if you took the quote-unquote right path, it was a fun Seed to play. But if you followed the moon path, which unfortunately Invenerable and GreatWightHope did, probably a frustrating Seed, probably. Oh, Meteor phase, so one nuke from Fusoya should take care of Cruelness.
Absolutely. Get your GGs ready, chat. Great White has worked hard for this one. Let's show him some love.
There we go. GreatWightHope has finished in 4th place in the Seed with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 38 seconds.
GG to GreatWightHope.
And with that chime, we do have GreatWightHope. GreatWightHope, nicely done. Just followed the wrong path, unfortunately.
Yeah, I took all of the wrong paths multiple times, even.
We had GreatWightHope. GreatWightHope.
Thank you. It was a tough seed, but I gamble on it not being the sealed cave.
Yeah, totally understandable. Was there a point where you're like, okay, it's either if it's that sealed cave, I don't have a chance, so I'm just gonna go for everything else?
Really, once I went to the moon, once I left the underground that time, I went, okay, we're not doing sealed cave. If it's sealed cave, oh well. I was thinking, okay, maybe other people took different paths. Maybe they found like bearing keys somewhere, and they're on a wacky path. Because I knew I needed levels, and there were no sirens to be found. And I was hoping to find sirens or edge or the crystal. Didn't find any.
Yeah, that's right. No sirens or edge.
And since I found the pan on that path, it was okay. Let's follow that path, and let's play with the land of summon monsters. Maybe somebody got scared by Magus sisters. Although by then I think people might have not done. But no, I'm happy with how it went once I got out of the start. I will need to remember that Twin Cast lets you use magic on Valvalis. If I had known that, I would have stayed there and just beaten the tar out of her. Instead, I wandered everywhere. Oh well, it was a fun seed.
Yeah, at least did you? Hopefully, you had fun while you were playing this, because that's the point of this whole thing, is to have some fun too.
I always have a blast, and I mean, all three of the racers in this race against me, I knew all three of them were very good, very consistently good. So I wasn't expecting to, I was expecting last place in this race. So like I look at last place, it's like, I did what I expected. Just so happened that I also took the wrong path.
Yeah, definitely happens. Good news is you still have 3 more races coming up in the next week.
Yep.
So you can.
I'm looking forward to them. I think my next race is 2 days. Or by now it's 1 day.
That's right. Quick turnaround, but can't be as crazy as this one was. That's for sure.
Don't say that. Don't say that. But then we could have started with Edward or Tella.
It's true. There's always Edward to ruin things.
Speaking of Tella, seeing Tella on Zot made me really sad.
I
was just going, come on, give me Edge or Rosa, someone who I could really make a lot of use of, and it's Tella. And of course, I chose to dump Kane, and I open a treasure chest in the lower tower of Babel, and it gives me a blizzard.
All right. So before we sign off for the night, any other comments or or questions for GreatWightHope before we sign off? Any other comments on this seed?
All I have to say is nobody is everybody who was watching. If Free Enterprise looks like it'd be fun to play, pick it up. We do plenty of casual races in here, and nobody's going to be unhappy if it's your first or second time playing and you're playing in a casual race or one of the 2 weekly races we have going.
Absolutely, it is a super fun game. It's really great to see these classic games be brought back in new and fun ways.
The thing I like most about Free Enterprise is that it completely changes how Final Fantasy IV is, but it still feels like the game, which is very difficult to do when you, especially one that changes the game to this magnitude.
Absolutely. Well, GG, GreatWightHope. Sorry it didn't quite maybe go as you hoped, but you really showed off a lot of skill and perseverance, and good luck in your future races.
Thank you.
All right, so with that, I think we are just about done for this evening. So, do remember that our next race is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on RPG Limit Break. So I hope you all come back to watch our runners go. Again, that is Dipwood, Al Nagus, Mr. Ubik, and Obta Jr. tomorrow at 9 p.m. here on RPG Limit Break. So, any last comments before we sign off for the night, my friend?
Man, it was a pleasure to commentate this race. I love this community and this game. Hope to do more and stay more involved in it. And thanks to our runners for all your hard work. I know races can be stressful, but you guys really put on a good show for us and the viewers.
Absolutely they did. And with that, for our restreamer Penguinator, for our tracker Scala Kitty, for my fellow commentator coolpantsguy, I am Z-Man050778. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.